Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel and welcome to this hangout and chat. Yeah, it's as I'm recording this live stream, it's been like a couple of weeks since I finished up and wrapped up with Z Talks, which is on a temporary hiatus. But as I said in that stream, it'll be coming back in the future. But as for now, guys, this is just hangout and chat. If this is your first ever hangout and chat, just to kind of explain what it is, basically just hanging out with you guys and chatting. If people want to join, I definitely could see there might be room here and see maybe get someone on the stream. If you would like to join me on the stream, drop me a message on Facebook. I've got my laptop here and I'll drop you the StreamYard link and I'll maybe get you on the stream. So yeah, welcome guys. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching live or watching after the fact. I really appreciate you guys being here. So thank you for watching and tuning in. And yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a good week so far, whatever you are up to. And yeah, hope it's been good. As for myself, if you guys haven't recently seen onto the channel, I recently went to the For Love of Horror kind of Comic-Con convention that was on in Manchester. So I've recently been there, did a vlog, so that's up onto the channel. And also I got an early press screening at the same time, which is cool because that was the first ever press screening for the movie Thanksgiving, which is the latest movie by Eli Roth. That review is also onto the channel right now, so you can definitely check that out. And I've also been uploading some shorts from the kind of For Love of Horror convention that I went to also. If you're watching live, absolutely leave a comment down below in the live chat box. Say hi, Mike, or if you want to ask me a question or want to ask any guests, any questions. If we get any guests that's joining, absolutely feel free. As I mentioned, if you want to join, drop me a message on Facebook and we'll see if we can get you onto the stream. First up, though, we've got a comment from Jason, my good friend Jason. So, hey, Jason. Yeah, I'm doing good. I hope you're well too. He says, nice hoodie. Is that what you call it in the UK, or is it a jumper? Yeah, so this is a hoodie, like a hoodie jacket, but I just call it a hoodie. A jumper is like what you'd wear for like Christmas jumper, that kind of material and kind of clothing. That's what we just class as a jumper and hoodie. So yeah, got my official Did You See That hoodie, guys. If you don't have one already, I will just be honest with you, it's comfort, the design, that it doesn't wash out straight away, which is obviously great as well. And also there's a link down below before if you want to get a hoodie as well. Quite warm, a little bit oversized, which is good. Definitely will keep you warm in the winter, at least here in the winter anyway. So yeah, thanks for the question there, Jason. And I've got Sin. Hey, Sin, hope you're doing well. Hey, Mike, gonna hang here for a bit before going back to work. Well, hey, Sin, firstly, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope work's going okay as well for you. And yeah, I miss chatting it up with you, Sin. Having that kind of movie chat with you as well. But definitely will be in touch with you soon because I've got some awesome ideas for live streams as well. I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of people for different kind of streams, and of course the first ever Z tournament, which I'll kind of touch on in a little bit, and that'll be also coming very soon. So yes, Sin, hope you're doing well. And Jason saying it's very comfortable. Well, thank you, Jason. Yeah, Jason does have a hoodie as well, just to kind of throw that out there. Jason, big supporter of the channel, so thank you, Jason. Yeah, I've seen him with the hoodie on. Hey, if he joins us tonight, he might even have it on then as well. Who knows? But yeah, Jason, glad that you enjoy it, man. Thank you for tuning in as well. Really, really do appreciate it, dude. And I hope you are doing well. And yeah, I guess perfect time for me to talk about the Z tournament. So yeah, if you guys didn't see, a little while ago, I put a video idea out called Z Tournament, the first ever Z Tournament. Basically, what that will involve is anyone who is on YouTube or not on YouTube, I can join. All the requirement is that you have a camera on, ideally to stop people cheating. Because at the end of the day, it's just a fun kind of movie quiz tournament. It'll be in rounds. It'll be like a draw will be picked, being like, right, these people will be on with these people. I'd arrange a time and schedule for them to be on and basically compete in the quiz. Maybe the top two people will go through to the next round till ultimately you get a winner and they'll win a custom trophy for the Z tournament. So that will be happening very soon. If you want to apply and be part of that, I would love for you guys to be a part of it. Find the Z tournament video that is onto the channel and you can just literally leave a comment being like, I'd like to enter. And yeah, get it. It's simple as that. And then I'll reach out to you by a message to obviously kind of communicate when you'd be on or kind of like arrange a time slot. So yeah, can't wait to get people on. I think I've got about 25 entrants so far, which is awesome. Would love to get even more so I can create more tournament, more brackets, more rounds. But of course, I need you guys to join. So yeah, I can't wait for that. So that'll be coming soon. I've got Kieran here. Hey, Kieran, hope you're doing well, my friend. He says the tournament cannot wait for it to begin. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, Kieran entered. I probably end up doing maybe like a short or like one big short or maybe like a small YouTube video, for example, when I've done the draw, which will be on the computer generated, and I'll be filming that as well, so you guys see that. And again, it will be a random draw. I'm not going to be like being like, right, these people in one group, these people in another group, because that's not fair. I'm going to have a computer generated as well, so that is sorted. But yeah, Kieran, thank you for tuning in, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And we've got Ryan Swales. Hey, Ryan, hope you're doing well, man. Thank you for tuning in. He says, hey, Mike. So yeah, hope you're doing well, Ryan. He says, are you going to check out Saltburn? Yeah, very interesting question, because I don't know about you guys, right? When I've seen the trailer for Saltburn playing on at the cinema, it looks kind of, it's going for like an artsy kind of vibe. Now, I might be wrong, and this might be a movie that kind of blows any expectations out of the water. Like the aspect ratio, I was like, why is it filming in this aspect ratio? Is there like a specific reason, or is it like an artistic style, a director's choice, a cinematographer choice? Like, why is that reasoning? I like Barry Keoghan, who is, of course, in there. And I think the other guy is called Jacob. I don't know his surname, so apologies, but I know who he is anyway. So it's got like a good cast, and Rosamund Pike and stuff like that. So it's got a good cast. The only thing is, I don't know, it looks quite like an artsy kind of movie. And if you guys know me in the channel, I'm not really into those kind of movies, but I can respect anyone that is. But I kind of still do want to check it out, just so I can say, like, look, at least I've watched it, at least I've checked it out, at least I've given it an opportunity, right? And the worst case is it makes maybe a top list of the year, it makes a bottom list, or it just makes like, that was an okay time. So answer is, Ryan, long story short, I probably will, but I'm not in a rush to do so, my friend. So I'll leave it at that. Sin saying, great, looking forward to it. Yeah, well, awesome, Sin, thank you. She says, I would chat on screen with you today, but I'm slammed with work, got to catch up since my Vegas trip. Yeah, so I remember Sin was saying about she had like a really busy week coming up, like a Vegas trip wise. So yeah, Sin, firstly, I hope your trip went well. I hope that was all good with work, and I hope it was, at least you got back safe, which it sounds like you did. And I'm glad it was just, good trip overall, and hopefully a good time, or at least, you got to have some downtime and kind of explore Vegas a little bit, if you haven't, of course, in the past. But yeah, thank you for tuning in either way, Sin. I appreciate it. If you can join live, on the camera, or just on the comment section, just you guys just take your time to kind of tune in tonight. I really, really do appreciate it. So thank you. And I think we may have a guest very soon. Let's have a look. Yeah, there is a message on Facebook. So yeah, I'm going to be getting a guest on very, very shortly. Again, if you guys are watching live, leave a comment in the live chat section, whether it's just a hello, whether you want to ask me a question, whatever it is. If you guys want to leave any comments, let me know what movie you're going to check out next at the cinema. I know here in the UK, tomorrow is our release day for movies. We've got Saltburn. We've also got the new Hunger Games movie, The Ballad of Song and Snakes, or Snakes and Songs. I don't know the title. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's the new Hunger Games movie. So we've got that as well. And I would like to say there might be one other movie, but it's not on like my nearest cinema. It's on like a bit further out in Newcastle. I can't remember what that movie is. Yeah, I really can't remember. Nothing that I'm exactly like crazy about or anything like that, but I still kind of want to definitely want to check out those movies regardless. And we've got the Movie Cheer podcast. So hey, hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in. It says even Mike. So hey, hope you're doing well. I've just watched the F1 movie Rush today. I thought it was great. What did you think of it? Hey, well, thank you for the question. And I say Movie Cheer. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I haven't seen Rush, but I know of the movie. I think it's the one with Chris Hemsworth, if I'm not mistaken. 2012 maybe time. Yeah, I've never seen it, but I've heard like absolutely great things, and you've just solidified that even further by saying it was great, at least from what you thought. So definitely one I want to check out. For some reason, not against it or anything, because I love like Ford v Ferrari, and I know like Gran Turismo obviously came out a little bit early this year. That was okay, but Ford v Ferrari was fantastic. And I think it might be a different title in America. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I really love that one. Definitely up for watching Rush, my friend, but just haven't got to it as of yet. So when I do watch it though, I will let you know, and I also give you a shout out on the streams, whichever stream it is at the time, and let you know my thoughts as well. So thank you for the question. And yeah, we've got our first guest is of course Jason. Hey, Jason.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
doing all right. Hopefully my internet's working okay.
I know. Last time you did a stream on your channel, like the internet cut out quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I was having a little trouble this morning, but I'm hoping it's okay right now.
Yeah. I hope so, man. Well, thank you for joining either way, Jason. Appreciate it, and good to have you back as well.
Yeah, good to be back.
He's the champ of Hangout and Chat, I think. I don't know if you've made
Yeah.
most appearances on it, so I think so. Oh, I think Jason is frozen. Hold on. Yeah, Jason, are you there? No, guys, I think Jason's internet's cut out. So Jason might be back in a bit, or I might catch up to him. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know. Jason must be having kind of said, yeah, having technical difficulties. So yeah, Jason might be back in a little bit, guys. Not too sure. So yeah, Jason, feel free to come out, rejoin, whatever you need to do, whatever you need to do, my friend. So it's all good, all good. So hopefully we will have Jason back at some point. We've got Sin saying, "Going to see Thanksgiving in a few hours. Cautiously excited. Awesome." Well, Sin, all I'm going to say is this, and this is not a spoiler for any of you guys who's not seen this movie or you want to check it out at some point, because I say I was absolutely fortunate enough to get the press screening. Otherwise, I would have been watching it tomorrow, like on release day. For me, slasher of the year, and simply because all I'll say, Sin, is this: practical effects off the charts, absolutely fantastic. So I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Is it on everyone else's? Once you get a chance to check it out. If you guys have got a favorite slasher of the year, let me know. If it's going to be Thanksgiving, if it's anything else you may have seen in the meantime, certainly let me know. We've got Kieran saying, "Hey mate, yeah, hey Kieran." He said, "Want to see the Marvels?" And we got 5 to 6 trailers beforehand, which I think is because the strike's over. I'm really pleased to see that, but definitely want to hear what you think, my friend. Okay, well, thanks, man. Yeah, and thanks for the question. So haven't seen the Marvels. I'll touch on that in a second. But I saw your review though, Kieran, and I think that you said, it was okay. There was moments that was all right. But for most part, wasn't anything spectacular. Which I'll be honest, I've heard about. Like most of the reviews have basically been kind of like saying that exact same thing. So I'll be honest with you guys, and it's a bit of a shame to say this, but I'm not going to be checking out the Marvels, at least not in the cinema, simply because, and not to say I'm not on the Marvel train or anything, but I'm just not huge on it at this moment in time. The Marvels, I had no interest when it was announced. I saw the trailer and I still had absolutely zero interest. And I feel like if I watch that movie at the cinema at least, I'm just forcing myself to just go see it just for the sake of it and not actually like really wanting to see it. And the reviews have been kind of mixed to like negative. And at the end of the day, you obviously judge a movie for yourself when you've seen it, and that's fine. And I always think have that kind of mentality. But it's just with this one, I've just got absolutely no interest to do it. So I kind of just think, kind of why waste my time to do that? But maybe when it hits Disney Plus one day, and maybe when I catch up on some Marvel projects, because I haven't seen Loki season 2, which again I'm not really interested in. I like the first season, but second season just didn't really interest me. And yeah, I just not really on board, unfortunately, at the moment on Marvel, my friend. So I can't comment. I've not seen the movie. We've got Ryan saying, "I literally turned to the girlfriend and said that said after the trailer That might be the most artsy thing I've ever seen. He's talking about Saltburn, for anyone who's just maybe joined. He says, I'm interested, so I'll see what it's about. Is there any other Eli Roth movie you enjoy? Wow, that's actually a good question. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Ryan. Let me just load up Wikipedia while I'm looking at your question here, so I can get a list of Eli Roth movies, at least the ones I've seen, so I can actually comment on this question. Because from top of my mind, I can't really think. So, movie-wise, he's done Hostel. Okay, well, I like Hostel. He's done Hostel Part 2, which, yeah, I like Hostel Part 2. Okay, he's done The Green Inferno. Nah, I mean, there was some cool gory bits, but overall, nah, I wasn't really a fan. Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves. I mean, that's a movie in itself. I can't really say I love that movie, but wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Death Wish, the one with Bruce Willis sing that. Okay, kind of forgettable. The House with the Clock in its Walls. That was actually all right. Yeah, that was like a fun time for what it was. So yeah, man, I'm gonna say besides Thanksgiving, I'm gonna go Hostel. Yeah, I really like Hostel, and especially for the time, I thought it was pretty cool. And even now, it's still pretty cool. I got Jamie Powell giving in. Hey, Jamie, hope you're doing well, man. Thanks for tuning in, dude. Yeah, hope you're doing well. He's saying Thanksgiving Saturday. Awesome. Hope you have a great time, mate. I'll keep an eye out for if you do a review as well. I'll certainly check that out on your channel if you do a review for that, my friend. I hope you do as well, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts on this one, because I don't want to rave it up or hype it up too much for you guys, because then you might go in and be like, oh, was I kind of let down or disappointed? So don't really want to do that. I just say that I had a really good time with it. So I hope you do as well. And Jimmy asks, what's the next film you're going to see at the cinema for you? Yeah, so a question that Ryan Swales asked earlier about Saltburn. I think the next movie, I'm going to go tomorrow, and I've got a couple of options. The options of the movies I've not seen as of yet. I've got Trolls 3, which I've seen the first one. That was just like a cute family movie, so I don't mind Trolls. But I'm not in a rush to go out and see. But it's got that. Then you've got Saltburn, or you've got the Hunger Games, the new one. So I'm kind of torn on which one. I'll be honest. I think more than likely I'm leaning towards the Hunger Games, just simply because I have seen the kind of original Hunger Games movies, and they're okay. I can't say I hate them, can't say I dislike them. I think I remember enjoying them, but it's been years, so I definitely need to rewatch them. So I've heard this is a prequel, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know if they're doing a prequel trilogy. So I definitely want to see that. So yeah, my friend, I think it's going to be Hunger Games, and then possibly at some point Saltburn. I think that will be the one after that. I think for you, Jamie, from what you've seen in the comments, your next movie is going to be Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken. But thank you for tuning in. I've got Malfan. Hey, man, hope you're doing well. He says, hi, Mike, how are you? Yeah, I'm doing good, my friend. Hope you are too. And thank you for tuning in. And yeah, Malfan, awesome guy as well, by the way. I would say check out his YouTube channel, but he doesn't do YouTube, but really cool guy nonetheless. So thanks, Malfan, for tuning in, my friend. I've got Patrick from Have Cheated Will View. Hey, Patrick, hope you're doing well, my friend. I know Patrick is on a temporary break at the moment on YouTube, but definitely go over subscribe to his channel. He's still putting out videos as well, so absolutely go check him out. Really wonderful guy. Same for Jamie Powell as well, guys. Same for Sin's Corner, who is a legend. Same for Ryan Swales, who's also a legend. Kieran, also very cool. Movie to Your podcast for that matter. And also Mr. Jason, the Old Millennial himself. So definitely go check them out, guys. Search for the channel names on YouTube and definitely go subscribe to them. Patrick says, reviews for Thanksgiving are strong. I'm going to see it on Monday. Hey, awesome, man. Patrick, hope you enjoy it. Sorry, just need to take a drink. Yeah, Patrick, I hope you have a great time with it when you see it on Monday. If you like a really bloody, gory, gruesome horror movie, you're in for an absolute treat with Thanksgiving. It's all of that and more. And I'll just say the opening scene, that sets everything up. Yeah. Really dig it. That's all I'll say. So I hope you enjoy it. Sam said, well, firstly, before we get to that one, he says, Mike, hey, Sam, hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. Sam, absolute legend. Doesn't do YouTube, but does do Instagram. So definitely go follow Sam. Really, really wonderful guy. He says currently watching Ran from Akira Kurosawa. Sorry, I've probably butchered the name. The 4K transfer looks stunning and such a brilliant film. Yeah, awesome, man. Let me just look that one up. I've never heard of this one, but when I've looked it up here, it's saying it's 1985. Yeah, I can't say, man, that I've ever seen the artwork or know anything about this movie whatsoever. But of course, I know it's kind of he's a well-respected director. So yeah, it'd be interesting checking out. And cool to hear the transfer as well is really good in that. I know, Sam, you've been watching some kind of like foreign, like Korean kind of movies recently. So that's really cool, mate. Yeah, I love kind of Korean cinema. I haven't watched loads of it, but from what I have seen, really, really enjoy it. One of my favorites is Parasite. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the film, mate. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, dude, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Patrick saying thanks for the kind words. Yeah, absolutely, Patrick. Such a lovely guy. So definitely check out Patrick's channel. And Patrick says interviewing one of the stars of Thanksgiving on December 4th. Oh wow. Okay, Patrick, if you're still watching, who are you interviewing on December 4th? Because that is an incredible interview opportunity, my friend. That's awesome. Definitely going to be checking out that interview. I mean, I always try and stop by anyway, even if it's just a hello and watch it back like a later time. But yeah, let me know who you're interviewing because that's really, really cool. Definitely intrigued. Definitely intrigued in that one. Yeah, we've got Jason saying having some technical difficulties. All good, Jason, if you can join, my friend. All good. We'd still love to get you on. And we've got quite a few comments. So yeah, hey guys, thanks for the kind comments. And Jamie says, thanks for recommending the channel. Yeah, absolutely. So I've seen a couple of Jamie's videos. I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen loads and loads of them because it cost me and Jamie's only kind of started talking recently. But yeah, Jamie just seems like a really, really cool guy. We were actually at the same Comic-Con like last year in Southampton, but I didn't really know Jamie at that point. Otherwise, we would have had a little stop for a chat and stuff. But yeah, Jamie, he's just really a really cool guy. And he also really he knows Lisa Love's incredible person as well. So yeah, absolutely all good. And I think he's back.
I think so.
I hope so. There he is. There he is. Yeah, Jason, don't worry if you're having technical difficulties, dude. It's all good.
I unplugged everything, plugged it back in, so hopefully it's working.
Let's hope. Let's hope. Well, just to let you guys know as well, after this live stream, the link to Jason's channel will be in the description box as well. So absolutely go subscribe to him. But in the meantime, while you're watching, go on YouTube, type in Jason the Old Millennial, and you'll find this guy's channel right here. Jason, what videos have you got coming up?
That's a good question. I haven't been doing videos as much lately. Been going through some stuff, but
yeah.
So I don't know exactly when I'll start doing it again, but definitely have some stuff I have to finish up. Some series that I'm doing.
Right.
I know I'm going to be on tomorrow, actually, on Norn Rad A9's channel. And we're going to be talking about the James Bond movie on Your Majesty's Secret Service. So.
Oh, cool! I know. Oh, awesome! I didn't even know about that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
and what time is that going to be for people who are interested?
I think it's 2 p.m. my time, which is 8 p.m. your time.
Right.
1 p.m. Norn's time. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'll definitely tune in. Say hello, add a couple of comments in. I've never seen that movie. I'm not a huge James Bond fan.
Yeah, I know.
Nah, I'm just not huge on James Bond, I'll be honest. But I'm still willing to give it a shot because I've only ever seen the Daniel Craig ones. But obviously I know like the older ones have got like really high reputation. People love them. So definitely want to check them out at some point. And I think Jason may have crashed again. I'm not too sure. Hold on. Think Jason, are you still there?
Am I?
You are, yes. it completely crashed for a minute, and then it's. I know, but it's all good. You're still here, though. It's all good.
If
Well,
they're
we've got
looking for a new James Bond, Mike, you could be the next James Bond.
That's not happening.
You just have to be from England. That's like the only thing, really. Be from England. You got it. I mean,
and in good shape, which I'm not. And I'm not an actor, really, Jason, either. So
well, you acted in a movie.
I did, but I think if they looked at that movie and then thought James Bond, they'd probably think, nah, I haven't done anything, fantastic in the way. But maybe one day, my friend, but not now. I don't know who they'll cast as a new James Bond. That'll be an interesting pick.
It's always interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
I think Tom Hiddleston, would do a good job.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston and what's his name? Aaron something.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's the other one that I'm hearing, but
I think with Aaron Taylor Johnson, I think he could do a good job. I think it's just the case he's got really ripped.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Whereas James Bond, for me, when I picture James Bond, when I've seen images of Pierce Brosnan or Roger Moore in the past, they've always kind of been they've been in shape, but not like huge, buff guys,
No, Daniel Craig is the most jacked James Bond we've ever had, for sure.
Right. And at the end of the day, you could have anyone as James Bond. It's not it has to be a certain person or anything like that. It's fine. I just think Tom Hiddleston has that kind of look, like the spy kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's already in a big franchise. That'd be interesting if he wanted to do anything like that. But
well, I mean, I can only imagine he's going to be doing Marvel for so long. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Loki season 2, so I don't know what happens. But I can't imagine he's going to keep riding that wave of Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, plus he's a great actor, so I can't say he's just going to want to limit himself to Marvel for the rest of his life.
I wouldn't think so. No.
And plus, with James Bond in the past, I know it's different because it was Daniel Craig, but they don't make those movies every year. They're every 3-4 years or so normally.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting. Be interesting when they announce who it is.
Oh yeah. It'd definitely be interesting what direction they will go. Because when they did Daniel Craig, they went in a different direction where it wasn't as jokey as the Pierce Brosnan era. It didn't have as many of those one-liners, I would say.
Yeah.
And it was a little more serious almost, I would say, Daniel Craig movies. And I don't know, Daniel Craig, he's not as suave as Pierce Brosnan to me, so I don't know. He's more of a big brute, but
that's the kind of impression I got from the movies I saw. Yeah, whereas the clips I've seen of Pierce Brosnan, for example, I'm it's a different tone, kind of James Bond altogether.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's good though. At least they've kind of varied the different styles as well.
Yeah, they do that from time to time. I feel like Timothy Dalton was similar. He was more of the serious Shakespearean actor getting in there, and and you get Roger Moore, who's a little more comedic. He's more of a TV actor, and he had a little bit different vibe. But I like the Roger Moore stuff more personally. But
a lot of people do. A lot of people think that that's their favorite James Bond. So yeah, it's interesting. It's cool. All these years, how many different James Bonds they've had, though.
Yeah,
and all the movies are probably different. You probably can attest to that more than anyone.
Yeah. It definitely makes a difference. I think who James Bond is, and I suppose who the director is. It changes. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see when they do bring James Bond back, who they get to direct it as well.
Yeah, because they're getting pretty big directors. The Daniel Craig era had pretty good directors, if I remember right.
Yeah, I believe. I can't remember, but you're probably right. I can imagine, because
I'm trying to think who it is, but I know there's some big names in there. If I remember right.
I think they may have had a couple of directors, because I don't know if he had a falling out with the directors at some point or another. I let me find out actually. I'll just quickly check about Casino Royale. So Casino Royale was Martin Campbell.
Yeah, same director as GoldenEye with Pierce Brosnan's first movie.
Okay.
So they brought back the same director because GoldenEye did so well that they were like, let's bring back that director and let's see if we can do it again. And he did a good job, so it was a good pick.
Oh yeah, Casino Royale is probably my favorite James Bond of the Daniel Craig era.
Yeah, definitely, I would agree with that.
It's probably that, and then Skyfall, probably.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. I'm glad we're on the same page for something. That's good.
Yeah. The other three are pretty terrible, though.
Yeah, my bottom one's either Quantum of Solace or Die Another Day, the last one.
Yeah.
Last one I found it boring, personally.
It was so boring.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
We've got an interesting commentary as a couple of people are watching along, so thank you everyone who's tuning in. I got Jamie Powley saying, I would like Christian Bale as Bond, but he may be too old now.
He's too big of an actor, I think.
I think he could, even with like older age, I still think he could do a good job. Again,
he'd
with
be
Christian
great.
Bale, especially like Christian Bale, like acting caliber wise, I think he could bring probably a different take altogether to James Bond.
He's one of the best actors working today.
Yeah.
He could be good in anything. I don't know, how old is he? I wonder. James Bond doesn't have to be young. James Bond could be in his 40s and 50s. I mean, Roger Moore was well into his 50s when he was doing James Bond, but
right. So Christian Bale, he is 49.
Yeah, okay, so he's getting up to the 50. I mean, he could do it. He couldn't do it very long. You want to start when you're 40 years old or something like that, and then work your way up to 50. But
right. Well, then they got stunt doubles, or like, Christian Bale's like a bit of a method actor, so to say.
Yes.
I still think he could do it. Jamie, I guess you get where you come from, like 49. You'd think like he's not going to want to take so many bumps in his later career. But
yeah, was great Batman. I mean, he phenomenal actor, could do that kind of stuff. I mean, they even talk about Henry Cavill would be a great James Bond, but he would be great, but it's like he's already been Superman and all this stuff. So I don't know if he'd want to do a franchise. Who knows? But he would be in that right age range as well, I would think, and he would be super jacked as well.
I agree with you. I think like Henry Cavill could do a really good job. It's just anytime he gets put in a franchise, they screw him over.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't want him in a franchise because he gets screwed over for some odd reason. But I think he could do a good job.
Yeah, I think he's actually a pretty good actor. I think that's underrated, Henry Cavill.
I agree. I agree. I think whatever he's been in that I've seen of him, I've always really liked his performance.
Yeah.
An interesting comment here. Jamie's adding, I've heard Nolan wants to make a Bond film.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be cool.
Yeah, he'd be great. I mean, yeah.
I think if anyone's going to bring like a really practical and like really immersive James Bond movie, it's going to be that guy, I think. Well, in any movie, if it's Inception, whether it's Interstellar, Oppenheimer, Batman, he always brings a different vision to those movies. And even Tenet, if you like it or not, it's still very practical. And
yeah,
I was recently at the HorrorCon at the weekend.
Right.
I just wanted to quickly tell you something here. I was at the HorrorCon the weekend, and Fiona Dorff was a guest at the HorrorCon, and she was in Tenet, and she was saying for her role in Tenet, for 6 weeks on set, all her job was every day was run backwards.
Really?
And that was her role for like 6 weeks.
Oh man.
Practical. So you got to think, if she's doing that practical for 6 weeks and Nolan had her do that, that's one person. Yeah. Imagine like what he could do in a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I felt sorry for her.
That's insane,
but
cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But he seems like one of them directors get the best out of his actors, though. if it's grueling or not, that's another statement. But he seems like he's just passionate about making a good movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, the Batman movies was definitely his most commercial style movie because his other movies are really kind of out there. He's kind of an out there director as far as ideas go. I haven't seen Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer might be a little more grounded, I suppose, but definitely his other movies have been. I mean, he's very sci-fi-ish type director, I guess. He's good with that style, and so he comes up with some interesting ideas as far as external. They don't always hit though with the audience, I don't think, but.
I agree. I think with Nolan's an interesting one because, as you mentioned, Batman's more commercial. Of course, it's got to appeal to an audience of superhero fans and getting new people on board with superhero, but also doing something different and probably the darkest Batman movies we've had to date, apart from the Batman, I would say.
Yeah.
And then with Oppenheimer, it's definitely more grounded, but obviously it's based on the story, right? So there's only probably so many liberties he can take with that based on a true story or like a historical event as well.
Yeah.
Whereas like Interstellar, if that's more of an original idea or an Inception, he can kind of go wild with it. And Tenet, for example. So I agree. But James Bond, you could kind of do anything you want as long as you have James Bond, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's an interesting one, nonetheless. I've got the viewer Drew saying, "Hey everyone, what's up?" Hey Drew. Hope you're doing well. We've got quite a few comments here, so thank you guys for coming with the comments. Sam is saying, "I should be seeing Saltburn at the weekend. Looks intriguing from the trailer, and I really did enjoy the director's debut film, Promising Young Woman." Yeah, I saw Promising Young Woman, and me and Emma watched that movie, and we both really enjoyed that one actually. So I didn't know that was the director. Are you going to be watching Saltburn, Jason?
What is Saltburn?
So it's got Barry Keoghan, and I think that's how you pronounce his surname. I could be butchering it, so apologies if I am. It's got him in. It's got Rosamund Pike as well. And from what the trailers kind of sold this movie as, is Barry Keoghan's character goes to like this mansion for like a summer break, so to say, and I don't know if I don't know how to describe it except from that he goes to this mansion for a summer, and everyone there seems kind of like partying and kind of in their own like kind of world, away from the outside world to an extent. It looked quite artsy, I'll be honest.
Okay.
So yeah, Jason's never heard of Saltburn, so so I doubt you'll be seeing that anytime soon. But I hope you enjoy it, Sam. If you check it out, my friend, I hope you have a good time with it. Jamie Powell asks, he says, what's your top 4 films of all time? Wow, okay, that's tough. I could maybe list 3 of them. I think I've got like a top 3. I'm not. Jason, do you have a, before I go to myself, Jason, do you have a top 4?
Yeah.
Do you want to share?
Yeah, number 1 for me is Fiddler on the Roof, the musical from 1971, I think. Then number 2 is It's a Wonderful Life, the Christmas classic from 1946, I think, 1947.
Yeah.
Third is Forrest Gump, Best Picture winner of 1994. Then 4th would be Back to the Future from 1985.
Nice. Great pick.
And 2 of them are Robert Zemeckis films back to back.
That is very true. No, yeah, great picks, Jason. I've seen Forrest Gump and I've seen Back to the Future. Never seen Fiddler on the Roof, but I know with your passion, like I really want to check that one out. And then this year, on Christmas Eve at my local cinema, they're showing It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, sweet.
And I've never seen it, so I'm going to wait till Christmas Eve and I'm going to watch it at the cinema for the first time.
That'd be so great.
Yeah, if I'm gonna, because we've talked about this movie before, and I've talked, I asked you about the black and white version. I watched about the color version. You said go to the black and white one. And I think if I'm gonna watch it for the first time, if it's on the big screen playing, I'm gonna check it out that way. So I'm gonna watch it that way. And Fiddler on the Roof, I'll check that out as well.
Yeah, I mean, you like musicals a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I love musicals.
So it's a great musical. It's a great story. I mean, it's over 3 hours, I think, in length, maybe, or 3 hours or so. It's fairly long, but you've watched Sound of Music. It's the same kind of same length.
Oh, love Sound of Music. So that's my favorite musical, Sound of Music.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, man, I like musicals. I don't know. It's just thing about Fiddler on the Roof. Never say I've never been interested. I've just never really, thought about being like, right, let's go watch that today.
Yeah.
But I definitely do want to check it out. So, and once I do, I'll be messaging you straight away. I'll be like, Jason, I finally watched it. Here's my thoughts.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. That's it. I'll be like, oh.
Hopefully, I love the movie anyway. Once I get a chance to check it out.
Yeah,
I do. I like to go in open-minded. I know you really like it, so I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, great picks, Jason. Great question, Jamie. As for myself, if I was to pick a top four, top of my mind, Back to the Future #1, of course. Your Name is number 2.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Batman Begins.
Yeah, I thought so. Yep.
And number 4, probably Weathering with You.
Oh, okay.
The other anime movie by Makoto Shinkai. They're probably like my top 4. If I'm just thinking off top of memory. But I definitely do want to make like a top movie list at some point. I think that would be a really interesting discussion. And I'll get this guy on here on this live stream as well. I think that would be a good discussion.
I'm all about lists, so.
Right. I think what could be cool, and now it would take a while to do, but if I do a stream like that, it'd be cool to get like Jason's list. I'll give him my list, and we watch the movies on each other's list, so we can actually have a conversation about each movie.
Right. Yeah, that'd be cool.
But of course, if you haven't seen the 10 movies I pick, you're going to be watching a lot of movies.
I hope you don't put Terrifier on there. That's all.
It's a great. I can't say it's one of my favorite movies ever, but I do really like it though. I can't wait for the third one.
Oh yeah.
You haven't seen it, right? Nah. Well, I know Jason's not huge on horror, so I understand.
And that sounds like really bad horror. I don't know. It's like that seems like really gruesome horror from what I've heard.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the kills in Terrifier?
I know a girl gets like cut in half or something. That's the big one I've heard of that I'm like, I do not want to see that.
It shows it as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't shy away from it, Jason. It shows the whole thing.
Yeah.
And there is another brutal scene, which I'll tell you after the stream.
Okay.
That's in the second movie. And it's kind of almost as bad, if not bad, to an extent, than the first one.
Yeah.
So, well, those kind of movies, those just pure gore kind of movies. If you like that kind of stuff, like me, you're gonna love it, right? We've got exploitation reviews. Got Rob. Say, hey, Rob. He says, "Hey, Mike." This was before you joined, Jason. He says, "We had a bit of an important movie event in my house tonight. I showed the kids their first Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Awesome. Bloodsport. Thoughts on those cheesy 80s movies?" Hey, well, great question, man. Hope you and the kids really enjoyed Bloodsport. Still not seen that movie. But I've heard great things. Jason loves like martial arts and that kind of stuff as well. So thoughts on those cheesy 80s movies? Yeah, well, I love a good cheesy 80s movie. Probably not seen as many as probably Jason has, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Jason, you seen Blood?
What's that? Bloodsport?
No, go on. What are you saying?
I know you've caught up on some Arnold Schwarzenegger movies through Rashad G, so you've caught up on some 80s cheese movies, which is good.
Yeah, and Stallone's as well, like Rambo and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's like you need to see Stallone and Schwarzenegger and Claude Van Damme's a good one too. I like his stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind. So I haven't seen many Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. I've seen In Hell, I think it is, when he's in the prison.
Mm-hmm.
That one, from what I remember quite enjoying that one. I mean, I might watch it, it might be terrible now, but
yeah, that's not one of his top tier to me, but
nah. just growing up, I never was like my parents never sat me down and be like, right, let's put this 80 movies on and show me as a kid, like, this is the movie. I just grew up on Toy Story, like watching that on repeat all the time. So it's probably why I've lost out on a lot of these movies I've never seen.
yeah, because I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, but a lot of those 80s movies were being shown, on TV when I was a kid. So I would be, going through the channels. I just remember being a kid. And of course, I remember, not really having any responsibilities or anything I had to do except for going to school. And so when I'm not at school, I was like, man, I'm just watching TV, just enjoying life, playing video games. It was such a great time in life. And you're like, I just flipped through the channels, and anytime somebody was, shooting somebody, anytime there was some kind of hand-to-hand fighting, anytime there are swords in play, like, I'm watching this movie right now. Like, anytime I came across a movie, I'm like, okay, this is the movie I'm watching. Like, because I would love anything with any kind of action in it. As a kid, I was just like, and so you come across all these. Yeah, anytime it's Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Chuck Norris, like, I'm watching it. Like, I'd watch every movie I could find. Jackie Chan. Anytime I saw those. So I love that era of action movies, the 80s. Yeah. It's a good decade for action, in a sense. Like, they really ramped it up from the 70s and 60s.
Man, there's so many great movies to the 80s, though. As you mentioned, like action, like, I've not seen many of them, but you mentioned a couple of examples there. I mean, like sci-fi, like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Just to name just two.
Star Wars, yeah.
Star Wars. Horror was some great movies.
Yeah, horror's
as
getting
well.
big. Yeah.
Yeah, great decade overall for movies. The 80s, very strong. Of course, if you watch some of them back now, it's way cheesy. When was
very cheesy? Yeah.
Was End of the Dragon 70s? Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would say
that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, like Rockies, Rambos, and stuff.
Rambo, it's so good.
Yeah.
Bloodsport, that's one of my favorite. I love Bloodsport. That's my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. I have a DVD of it over there. But anyways, and I watched that so many times, and I still love it. It's stupid at parts, but I love it still. And just the way it's it's like Jean-Claude Van Damme's first actually big movie that he did. And it's such a good movie to show off his incredible, athleticism. I mean, he has these incredible he does splits like nobody else. And he has these crazy, split kicks where he jumps in the air and does like the splits and kicks somebody. And you're like, I've never seen anybody do that before. And he's also jacked. He's like jacked as well. So it's like, he's not a good actor, but man, he looks great in a movie, like action movie. An action scene. It's so good. And I love the movie because it shows different styles of different martial arts, because they're in a tournament and they bring people from different countries in. And it's the first time I've ever seen that really in a movie. And I love that idea of, someone coming from China and their kung fu, somebody's coming from Jamaica and their, capoeira, whatever. Someone from Thailand, they're kickboxing. So I love the different styles of martial arts.
It makes for like a unique movie. Anyway, and I say the different styles, you're like, oh wow, that's cool. And it just, instead of everyone, doing the same martial arts kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Well, very quickly to add here there, Jason. Yeah, Rob saying, kids really liked Bloodsport, and he was a fan back in the day as well.
Yes, that's so awesome. Good.
Well, shout out as well, by the way, to, if you're watching live or after the fact, to Cinematic Tendency, Garrett from Cinematic. He named his son Jean-Claude, so that goes to show how much he loves Jean-Claude. So shout out to Garrett if you're watching, my friend.
Cool.
But yeah, I've heard great things about Bloodsport. I mean, as you mentioned, Jason, if you watch an 80s movie now, most of the time it's gonna be cheesy parts, it's gonna be dated. But it would seem if you watch a movie this year and watch it 10 years time, it's gonna be like, wow, really? They said that then? So it's gonna happen. Marvel fan adds here. I now got Licorice Pizza Cinema poster and the Elephant Man 4K steelbook. Nice.
Cool. Steelbook, awesome.
Well, we're both fans of steelbook, so can appreciate that.
That's cool.
I've never seen the Elephant Man though. I've heard great things about it. I've heard it's going to be quite upsetting as well. So definitely want to check it out. And Licorice Pizza Cinema poster, that's cool, mate. Yeah, let me know when you.
That's a cool poster.
Yeah, let us know where you got that from. Was that like an eBay purchase? Did you have a friend who gave you it or whatever? Yeah, let us know. Sam was talking a little bit earlier, Jason, about Akira Kurosawa movies. He said he would love some of them. Seven Samurai is awesome. I need to watch Rashomon. Dreams is also incredible. Love this director. Jason, have you seen anything from this director?
I don't think I've seen them. I've heard a lot about him. I mean, Seven Samurai is, I want to say, is like one of the most important films as far as it brings together the idea, if I remember right, of this trope that's been used so many times of like a village needs help and we're gonna get all these guys together to help. Kind of, I don't know if that makes sense. They did a similar thing with what's it called, the something seven, I think was a kind of
the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, it was like a Western redone of the story.
Yeah.
Where you take seven individuals, get together, and like, oh, we got to save this town, kind of. Anyways, and we've seen that done so many times, and I think Seven Samurai is kind of like the film that really popularized that, if I remember right.
Probably was. Yeah, I've seen Magnificent Seven, the remake.
Yeah, I've seen the remake.
That was okay.
It was okay. Yeah, it had a good cast. I mean, Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington was really good. Yeah,
right. Definitely a cool team up, I would say. Mm-hmm. Unique team up. Yeah, been a while since I saw that actually, but yeah, I've heard, like you, Jason, I've heard of Seven Samurai. I've never heard of Rashomon and Dreams.
I've heard of Rashomon, but I can't say I've seen them. They're like old black and white Japanese movies that I'm not quite into, but
I think it's just kind of checking them out, give them a go. If you like that kind of cinema, definitely,
Yeah.
If not, maybe not. Yeah, but I'll add them to the list, especially Seven Samurai, because I've heard great things about that one, and Jason said he's heard good things as well. So, Patrick's saying one of the interviews he's got coming up is Karen Cleese from Thanksgiving, the new Eli Roth movie.
Okay.
So that's awesome, man. I'll have to look up who she is. If I know the character name, I'll know who it is that way. But that's a cool interview, though. And he said Bloodsport is a classic.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people think it is, yeah. And Jason loves it as well. I got Ryan. Hey, Ryan, hope you're doing well. Says, hey, fellas, with Thanksgiving up and Christmas, with Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up, what are some of your favourite dishes you're looking forward to having? Oh, wow, okay, that's a good question. So, we do a dish here in the UK, and I don't think you guys do this in America. So, we call it Sunday's dinner. Or Sunday roast, some people call it. I think you guys may do things similar with like Thanksgiving kind of roast or whatever you guys call it. So basically, normally what you'd have is you'd have mashed potato, you'd have roast potatoes, you'd have like carrots, broccoli, maybe turnip, cauliflower. You know what I mean? You can have different veggies, of course. You don't have to have all of them. Then if you eat meat, you'd have maybe meat and like beef and chicken, maybe lamb, with gravy and like Yorkshire puddings. That's like a Sunday dinner, but we just call it like Christmas dinner as well. At the time, we just call it Christmas. We don't really have it for like Thanksgiving dinner. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving here in the UK.
No, that's an American thing.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There might be people in the UK who do celebrate Thanksgiving, but you're probably not find many. At least I've never met anyone in the UK who's been like, "Oh, I'm going to go celebrate Thanksgiving," you know?
No, that's historical
Right,
holiday for the United States.
right, right.
It's
So
all
yeah, so
pilgrims coming over and thanking God for providing for them. Yeah, in the new country. Yeah.
I'm going to be intrigued to hear what you have to say in this one in a second, Jason, about meals that you guys have. So yeah, we have Sunday dinner. And Jason, have you heard of pigs and blankets?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's something that you get at like Christmas time.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that, and also like the festive mince pies that you can get. Um, they're like really nice. If you ever come over to Christmas, Jason, if you come to the UK, I'll show you all these different foods we get. It's quite weird. But how about yourself, Jason? What do you have for Thanksgiving and Christmas over in America?
I mean, yeah, traditional Thanksgiving, I guess. Turkey, mashed potatoes, and stuffing with gravy all over that. Yeah, I love that. Corn, uh, Jello. I love Jello. We always get Jello for like dessert, which is so
Okay.
good. You can get, I mean, you get Jello when you put like cut up bananas in it. It's so good. Or red hot. My dad likes to make red hot Jello. We take like red hot candy. I forget what it's called.
Okay.
And you melt that down and you put it in the Jello mix, whatever, and it tastes so good. I mean, I love Jello.
Okay. Okay, that's unusual, but it sounds unique.
Yeah, it's good.
I think your kind of Thanksgiving dinner, what you said about the turkey and the stuffing and stuff, that is very similar to like a Sunday dinner, what we would have, apart from like
hmm
Yorkshire puddings that we have. You might
Uh-huh.
have seen pictures of roast dinners and stuff before. If not, Jason, I'm making one on Sunday, so I'll send you a photo
Oh,
of what
okay,
what it looks like.
okay.
Yeah, I'm just making one for the sake of it because it's been a while. um, so yeah, there's a couple of our treats. Jason's going to be having his red hot Jello at some point.
Probably.
Sounds cool. Well, I know what Jello is, but I didn't know what red hot Jello was. But that sounds unique.
Yeah, it's so good.
Mm. No, awesome, man. Well, it's always cool to hear about like different people's traditions and like what people eat or do to celebrate the kind of the occasion. So that's awesome. I've got Marvel fan just adding in different. So thanks for the question, Ryan. Marvel fan saying only Marvel Studios film out next year is Deadpool 3, but the rest of that was supposed to be pushed back to 2025.
2025. Holy
Ooh,
cow.
okay. Okay. So I don't know what you think about this one, Jason. I've got a couple of mixed thoughts. Because have you seen the schedule, by the way?
Uh, no. I
Okay.
know they had a schedule out for next year, but then
Mhm.
I don't know. They're having so many problems. I'm sure they're like doing reshoots and rewrites and
Right.
trying to figure out how to make money again.
So from what I heard, and I think this is like the current schedule, if unless it, of course, gets changed, anything like that.
Yeah.
So the schedule is, as Marvel fans saying, Deadpool 3 next year, and then 2025, there's going to be 4 movies.
4 movies. Oh.
4. Yeah. So in a way, it's good that next year there's only going to be 1 movie, because it's kind of like, kind of maybe a bit of breathing room that a lot of people, including myself, have said Marvel kind of need to like let their projects rest. Plus, it gives everyone maybe 5-6 months to go back now till Deadpool and watch Loki, watch Marvels, watch whatever, But then at the same time, you're going to be fatigued out in 2025 again because they're going to be too much. Then if they have TV shows also in 2025 with 4 movies, and because I don't know if they've announced any TV. Oh, I tell you what, TV show might be coming next year. That Echo.
Yeah.
Is it Echo? Is it called? I think that's either end this year or next year. I think.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for it, so it must be coming out soon, I guess.
I saw an announcement today coming out in December. Is What If season 2?
Yeah, I just saw the trailer for that.
I've never seen any trailers for it, and I was like, wow, they're dropping that pretty quick.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one because season 1 was like a year ago or more.
Yeah.
And that was really good. I really liked the What If series.
Well, surely it would make sense if they've only got one movie next year to put that series on next year, like say January even, to give people like a bit of a break for the holidays, or plug the Marvels more. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's strange marketing by Disney. But I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3 though.
Yeah, that would be a very interesting movie. I mean, you think it should make pretty good money, I would think. When you put Hugh Jackman in there with Ryan Reynolds, that's two monster actors there, I think. Unless people are getting tired of Ryan Reynolds, I don't know if Ryan Reynolds is in like 5 movies a year, so I don't know if there's getting some fatigue or whatever you want to call it, Ryan Reynolds. But Deadpool's such a big character, though. I would think that would still be really, really good.
I think with Ryan Reynolds, I think it's more when he does a new acting role, he kind of just embodies like Deadpool personality.
Yep.
But I think if he's in a Deadpool movie where everyone knows him as, people will be like, oh, right, okay, here we go. But as you said, I think with Hugh Jackman coming back, that's going to be people on board straight away.
Exactly. There should be good marketing for that, I would think. And
well, if I'm not mistaken, did the first Deadpool do like $1 billion, maybe?
It was the highest. I thought when it came out, it was the biggest box office movie for a Radar movie. I thought maybe at the time.
I think
it did really, really good. Yeah.
I think it was, and I think maybe Joker beat it. I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that dollars. Yeah.
So I can imagine Deadpool 3. It's been years since the second one.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Yeah.
So I mean, in that meantime, it gives people a chance to go back to the first 2 movies, watch them, maybe watch the X-Men movies with Hugh Jackman in.
Yeah.
As well. So I think it'll be big. Plus, like, there's been some leaks online about Deadpool 3, and it looks pretty cool from what they've showed so far.
Yeah, and just bringing back Hugh Jackman to his most famous role and is going to be interesting, especially because Logan was a while ago, it seems like.
2017, I think.
17, okay. And that was going to be the last one for sure, And he's done the character how many times? 10 movies? I don't know how many.
He's so good as the character, though.
Oh, it's like you put that up with, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, as, one of those roles that has been done for so many movies for so long and has worked so well,
Right.
There's some other ones I'm not thinking of. I'm sure there's other ones like that, but those are 2 that come to mind.
I mean, even with Marvel, though, for 99%, the casting is spot on. There might be the odd one or 2 you might think, maybe not, but I think Hugh Jackman, though, he's so good as it. So everyone loves Hugh Jackman, though. He seems like a cool guy as it is. So So Hugh, if you're watching, drop me a message on Facebook. Come join.
That'd be awesome. Do an interview.
I wish.
That'd be your biggest one.
It would be awesome. I'm saying what we're saying here. There, Jason saying, "What if season 2 dropping every day until 31st of December?" Wow. Okay.
It looks like there's a Christmas episode, so that makes sense from what I saw from the trailer.
It does, and that'll probably get big numbers. Yeah. Marvel fans saying starts from 22nd to the 31st. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, Jason said he'll be checking it out. I watched 1 or 2 episodes of the first season and I didn't mind it, but I didn't finish it. So I don't know if this new season's going to carry on from the first season.
It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Sure. They did a really cool thing. I mean, just to say about what they did with What If is they put in these different scenarios, of course, that never happened, but just an kind of like a multiverse, I guess. It's basically the first. I want to say it's the first movie that really kind of introduced the multiverse maybe into Marvel that I can remember. Yeah, I don't know if that was before Spider-Man or not, but anyways, but it was such a cool idea of like these different multiverses of different ideas of stuff, and you're watching it each episode going, wow, this is a cool idea, this is a cool idea. And then the last like 2 episodes, they brought in all the characters that they introduced in the episodes, and they put them together in an episode at the end. And I was like, oh, I had no idea they were going to take these. I thought they was just, one-shot movie or episodes, and you're not going to see these characters again. It's like, oh, here's a cool idea. And then the story was so great. I mean, I think it was a really good show. Like how they then somehow brought in everybody together because there's power that was going to destroy all the multiverses. So they had to grab all these heroes from these different multiverses that you're watching to fight this major power to stop them from destroying all the multiverses. So it was a great idea. I love the execution.
Oh, wow. That sounds awesome. Yeah.
But I don't know how they're going to top it because it was pretty. I mean, yeah, that finale was so good. It's like I don't know how they're going to top it, but that'd be interesting to see.
It's an interesting one because, like as I say, like as we've just been speaking about, they've only just like dropped the trailer like today, and it just seems as if there's kind of been like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's like a month they've got basically till it shows. But I'm pretty sure that first season had quite a bit some time before it showed, and it felt more marketed than the second one. But hey, you never know. It might be as good or even better.
Yeah, I mean, the animation's really good. It's a really interesting style. It's almost like I almost want to say it's, kind of that dark, kind of almost Spider-Man style, Into the Spider-Verse style of, maybe not quite like that, but it's a similar style. It's really good for action. It's a really good style for action as far as animation goes, and that probably takes years to animate. Probably, I don't know.
I can imagine it takes some time to do. Yeah, I appreciate anyone who can do animation in that style.
Yeah,
hats off to you. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it, Jason, as well.
Yeah.
Too. And Perez, I know Perez will be watching that straight away.
Yeah.
Jamie's commenting saying, Jason, It's a Wonderful Life is superb. He says, have you watched the other James Stewart classic, The Shop Around the Corner? I love it as it's highly recommended. Yeah, Jason, I'm guessing you've seen this one?
Yes. It's another good Christmas movie from James Stewart. It's earlier, I want to say early 40s. I mean, It's a Wonderful Life was like 46, maybe. Shop Around the Corner is maybe 1941, maybe somewhere around there. He just came off of, 1939, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, nominated for Best Actor. 1940, wins the Oscar for Best Actor for Philadelphia Story. And this one comes maybe right after that. And then he goes off to World War II, and he doesn't do movies for like several years. And then he comes back and does It's a Wonderful Life after he comes back from the war. And it's,
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Unfortunately, World War II came in, and it, some actors went off into war. And so we missed some good years there with some of the actors, and Jim Stewart was one of them. But so that was one of the last like really good movies he did before going off to war and then coming back and of course doing great again. But it's a fun, it's they remade it. You've Got Mail back in the maybe late 90s with Tom and Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan, yeah.
It's a similar idea, but you gotta love Jimmy Stewart. He's one of my favorite actors. I love his stuff.
Wow. Okay, sounds like he had like such a great career, like just like kind of hit after one or another as well.
Yeah, late 30s into those early 40s, man. It was so good. Unfortunately, there was a period where he wasn't, and then he came back and then put together some really good movies afterwards as well. But
wow. Okay. I'm going to check them out. Yeah, especially It's a Wonderful Life. I'm definitely watching that this year. And Shop Around the Corner. Never even heard of it, I'll be honest. So Cool. I never knew it was a Christmas movie as well, Jason. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, I believe it's around Christmas time that movie takes place because they're in a store selling, items, and I think Christmas is a big, selling point for a store, if I remember right. I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah.
Oh, awesome! And I'm glad you enjoyed them as well, Jamie. Yeah, well, both of you guys, 2 recommendations.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to check them out. I've got Mr. Movie Madness. Hey guys, hey man, hope you're doing well. Got Marvel fans saying my top 4 movies are Licorice Pizza.
Licorice Pizza. All right.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, Police Academy, and Pet Sematary. All right, nice. Quite a wide range diversity there. That's cool.
Police Academy. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, never seen it.
Yeah. Classic. That might be an 80s movie as well. Probably classic 80s comedy. Yeah. Rated R, kind of raunchy comedy. Not real raunchy, but a little raunchy.
Is there like 5 or 6 of them movies?
Yeah, they made a bunch of them. But the first one's the only real good one, I think, out of the bunch, in my opinion.
Right.
I would say.
It's bound to be one of those where the first one did great, so like, oh, let's do another one, and then let's do another one.
Oh, yeah, and then the last couple were, in fact, I don't know how many, but towards the end there, they're all, direct-to-video movies. The first one came out in theater. Maybe the second, third one probably came out in theaters, but then I think it's direct-to-video after that.
Probably was.
They're just cashing checks,
I've seen like when I've been watching TV, like like when you browse through late at night, I've seen like clips here or there of Police Academy and stuff. The clips I've seen I've quite enjoyed. Just never sat down and seen it though. Made some great picks. Licorice Pizza. I remember enjoying that movie. Have you seen that one, Jason?
Yeah, I've seen it. Nominated for Best Picture a couple years ago. It's not one I'd probably go back to, but it was better than I thought it was going to be because I didn't think it looked that interesting. And I love the 2 main actors. I thought did a good job. It's cool seeing Philip Seymour Hoffman's son in there, the main guy. And then the female is just she's in a band or something like that, and so it's like really even an actress, and I thought she did a good job. It's interesting. The movie didn't really have much of a plot. I felt like I think it lacked like a story to really. It just felt like stuff was happening, and I'm like, okay, what's happening? How is it all connected? It's just kind of random stuff happening to them. Some of it was interesting though. I keep thinking about the scene. You've seen the movie, right? So
yeah, I saw it in the cinema.
I still think about the scene where the police come and arrest him. Really terrible. They traumatized this kid, and he was totally innocent. They just shoved him out the door, and that's it. It's like, man, you traumatized this kid. It's like.
Yeah, they do, and especially he's meant to be really quite young as well.
Yeah, he's a good kid, and it's like they treat him like crap, and then I'm like, oh my god, like that would be so scary.
Definitely an experience. Definitely an experience to say the least.
And it's just a scene in the movie, and there's nothing. It doesn't do with anything with the rest of the movie. Nothing happens after that. It's just like here's an interesting scene.
Well, I'm glad for the most part there, Jason. At least you didn't mind the movie.
No, it wasn't bad. I think I in the relationship, it was the only weird part was like he was kind of underage. I think she was like in her 20s and he was like 17, 16. I can't remember. 15. I can't remember. He was kind of young, wasn't he?
I think he was quite young. I don't know if she was like late 20s, early 30, maybe.
Yeah, so there's a bit of age thing there that I was kind of like, this is a little weird, but
yeah, there was a bit of an age gap. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like you said, Trace, I think we're kind of on the same path with that. Like, didn't mind it. Not one I've rushed to rewatch though. I haven't seen it since I saw it in the cinema, to be honest. So.
Right. Yeah.
But no, I'm glad you really enjoyed the Marvel, especially if it's your first, top movie ever. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean,
Guardians, great pick.
Great movie, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when the trailer came out for the original Guardians, and I thought, wow, that looks terrible.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
And I saw it and I was like, wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think pretty much everyone kind of thought that as well.
Well, I mean, Chris Pratt, he wasn't a big movie star at the time.
No.
So, but I was already a big fan of his because of Parks and Recreation, the TV show. That I was so happy when he got into that role, and I was like, oh man, I'd love to see Chris Pratt. You know, I think he's so talented. Now he blew up after that. I mean, he's one of the top actors.
Yeah.
I think as far as box office, draw there is out there. That was really cool to see that. And I love seeing Batista. Batista is so good. I'm really amazed how good Batista is. I never knew he was going to be this good.
Well, so this is the thing, because if anyone doesn't know, like me and Jason's like big wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Wrestling's acting as it is.
Yeah.
You know, but more so when they're doing the promos really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then you think transpire that to acting, you think that'll probably go okay because they've got to act. It's an intense storyline, or whether it's a comedy storyline, whatever it is. But yeah, I agree. Like, I think his Drax, he works really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris Pratt blew up after that. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I understand why though. Yeah, he was really good in that. Great role for him. Anyway, again, comes down to Marvel casting, pretty much spot on. We've got Jake. Nope. Yeah, we've got Jake talks movies and horror saying, Mike. Hey, Jake. I hope you're doing well, mate. Thank you for tuning in. And Mr. Movieman says, have you seen The Marvels?
I haven't.
No, I talked about that earlier. I haven't seen it. Jason, have you seen it?
No. That's definitely not one I'm going to go out to see.
I was about to say, are you going to rush out to go see that one? Nah.
No, I'm sure I don't know what the box office numbers are, but it sounds like it's going to be a big bomb from what I'm hearing. But
I think it maybe took 45 million, maybe like opening week or weekend or so, which obviously isn't fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if Brie Larson is the big draw that she was even 5 years ago or whatever, many years ago.
Nah.
And then nobody else really is big on that show, and it's just, I don't know. I don't think anybody cares. I don't know.
I think it's tough because I've seen Brie Larson in a movie called Room.
Yes, yeah.
And that's a great movie. Not an easy movie to watch, but
no.
great movie.
No, yeah.
And that was the first ever movie I saw of hers where I was like, oh, who's this actress, right? So I think she gave a great performance. I think the issue is with Marvel, though, is not to say that she does a bad job. Just the writing for her character is so bland.
Yeah.
It's as bland as like looking at a wall.
Yeah.
Like an empty wall.
Yeah.
You can get nothing from it, They
Yeah.
just haven't made it likable,
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, because I remember when Captain Marvel came out, and I watched like every Marvel movie. I was in the theater because I loved, because I knew I love how they were just revving up to the last Avengers. I just knew like, oh, every movie we're gonna get a little bit, Thanos. I'm just waiting for Thanos to come, because I know it's gonna be great once he comes in and we have like the last Avenger movies, and I don't know. It was something about when Captain Marvel came out, though. I didn't see it in the theater. It was the only one I didn't see in the theater. I was just like, I don't know why. I don't know who Captain Marvel is. I don't care who Captain Marvel is. She looks like Superman. It doesn't seem like original. It doesn't seem like original character. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It didn't seem as interesting of a character as Iron Man or Captain America or Spider-Man or Black Panther. It seemed more interesting characters. And then Captain Marvel, it's like, man, it just came so late in the. I mean, it was like the second to last movie. I mean, till Endgame. It was like right before Endgame, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we've seen so many of these movies, and now you're gonna throw a new character in here, and I don't think I care.
I think that's the problem. The big problem is the position to put that movie in, because you just came off an amazing movie, Infinity War.
Infinity War, yeah.
Right, one of the biggest movies they've done to date.
Yeah.
And then between Infinity War and Endgame, which is 2 parts, of course, for anyone who's not seen Infinity War and Endgame, they then sandwich in Captain Marvel, as you said, Jason, a brand new character no one knows, unless you're a comic book nerd and stuff like that, and you love that kind of stuff, which is cool if you do.
Yeah.
And then her movie doesn't focus on those events at all.
Yeah.
Except from a post-credit scene where it links it into
that's right.
Infinity War Endgame. So it's kind of like you've got this whole movie and you're like, okay, like what significance is this to Infinity War right now? Or because at that point when it was announced, everyone's like, oh, like what's Captain Marvel going to do to merge into this, and like what's her story? Where's she been during these events? You don't get any of that. You get a throwback to like the 80s or 90s in the blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was put in that movie was made at the wrong time.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for Brie Larson because it's not her fault.
Yeah.
I just think since then though, they've done nothing to develop a character or make her likable, relatable.
Well, we haven't seen her since Captain. I mean, she appeared in stuff.
So I haven't seen
Captain Marvel. That was a while ago.
So she was in Captain Marvel. Obviously, she was in Endgame.
Yeah.
And then in the last time she was seen, I didn't see it, but I only saw the post. Sorry, I didn't see the series, but I saw the post-credit scene at the end. She was in like the last episode of Miss Marvel. So that's
for a second.
Yeah. And that was like the last time she was seen.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like she's been AWOL this entire time,
It's been at least 3 to 4 years since Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah, probably about that, yeah.
2018, 2019 maybe is when Captain Marvel came out.
Well, the last movie she was in was Endgame.
Right. That came out 2019.
Right. And then I'd say she was in a post-credit scene in Miss Marvel, which was
so they really haven't capitalized on. What's that?
I think it was last year, Miss Marvel, or maybe beginning of this year. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So you're right. Yeah, you were saying actually they haven't been capitalized on it.
Yeah, they haven't capitalized on the character. It feels like to me. Like.
I agree. And I think that's the problem with the MCU at the moment. Is you've got all these characters floating around this universe, and they're not connecting to each other.
Yeah.
So, like as Jason you mentioned, like Miss Marvel's off on her own, journey. Guardians are off somewhere. Thor's off a different place. Moon Knight's not been seen since his series.
Yeah.
She-Hulk's somewhere else in the universe. Whether you like it or not, she's still a character.
Yeah. And then the Eternals. Remember the Eternals movie that came out a couple years ago? Did
you hear the? Sorry to interrupt. Did you hear the news, by the way, that they're making a sequel?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised. I don't know if it did that well or not, but
I'm gonna have a look. But what were you saying anyway?
Well, they introduced they kind of somewhat. They do have a cliffhanger at the end of that movie. They kind of were introducing. He wasn't on screen, but they hinted at Blade.
Right.
And we haven't seen Blade. I mean, and I don't know if we're ever gonna see Blade. It's just in this what you call production hell, whatever, pre-production hell thing that they keep having to get rewrites. And I mean, have you heard the story on that Blade?
Yeah.
Like they wrote a movie and they made him the 4th build character in his own movie. And I think Mahershala Ali is like, no, I'm not doing this movie unless I'm the 1st build guy. And it's like, what a mess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, come on, you're not gonna have a movie where it's called your character's name.
Yeah.
And you're not the main character.
And you're not the main, yeah.
Like, did you see Shang-Chi?
Yes.
Like that movie felt like Shang-Chi and Friends. like the focus I don't think was fully on Shang-Chi in that movie. It was on like Aquafina.
Okay. Yeah.
It was, I don't know. I mean, I might be the only one who thinks that, but yeah, like I don't blame Micheal Ali. I mean, he's a great actor, so I don't blame him for saying no.
Yeah, exactly.
Then the day Marvel want him, he doesn't need Marvel.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So, yeah, that's production hell as well. I think the problem is, Jason, going back to this thing about the Marvels, and the issue is when the Avengers first started, and in 2012 when we got all that Avengers and that, circle that, cinematic moment, so to say, that everyone kind of remembers.
Yeah.
Before that happened, and even after that happened, even if we got introduced to like new characters within like 1 or 2 movies, they'd be connected into the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't be long before you saw Guardians again, or Thor, or Captain America again. You'd see them every year and a half, maybe, so it wasn't too long. But at the minute, they introduced, it's just new project after new project.
Yeah, it's new
project. It doesn't feel as if there's any core Avengers at the moment.
No, yeah.
Like, like your Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow. There's there's none of that.
Yeah.
So there's like no one in the center to bring all these random characters in the center, like that 2012 moment, like getting everyone together. So I think that's the problem. So I think that goes back to why Captain Marvel, don't really care. It's a shame.
Yeah.
But hopefully Marvel learn from, if these movies are tanking at the box office, to put more quality, put more thought, put a bit more story into stories that they're making.
Yeah, and maybe, like you said, maybe have a better overarching story. I don't know if they need that or.
I agree. I think they need an overarching story where they start bringing some of these characters together.
Yeah.
And then that will get people excited for like an Eternal sequel if they're going to make one. Maybe Captain Marvel might get people more excited for that character, or Moon Knight, or Doctor Strange, whoever. But
well, I heard that they're introducing the X-Men through the Marvels movie.
I've heard that as well.
So maybe they're trying to get the X-Men into the whole thing as well. Yeah.
But then at the same time, if they can't get the overarching story right with normal Marvel, why bring in the X-Men? If they're not going to connect X-Men in with the current, like, everyone who we've been introduced to so far, until like Secret Wars or whatever it's called, which is in like a couple of years' time.
Yeah.
That's not going to be as built up as Endgame was, or Infinity War was, where everyone came together and there was 10 years worth of story built up so well that you cared for them characters getting together for the final, like, for the first time. I feel like personally it's missing that.
Because you think they're going to try to get Shang-Chi in with, I don't know, is Black Panther? I don't know if that's still a thing. Because Black Panther's, I mean, the main guy died, so I don't know if we want a Sherry Black Panther joining in or what. Black Widow's not going to be joining in, I don't think so.
Well, I didn't personally mind Sherry as Black Panther, and I mean, don't get me wrong, it's hard to compare to Chadwick Boseman. I think it's unfair to compare the two at the end of the day. But I still enjoyed it for what she was and her role. But again, since that movie, she's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
And
Doctor Strange is still out there, I guess. Maybe he could pair up with somebody. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be interesting. They haven't really, because I'd love to see Shang-Chi come back in some role.
Well, they're making a Shang-Chi sequel.
They are? Okay.
So I just looked up as well. So Eternals, it had this is to Wikipedia. So Eternals' budget was 236 million, which may have been double that with marketing and other stuff as well.
Yeah.
And the box office had made 402.
Okay, so probably didn't.
So probably lost money, or maybe just broke even.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think instead of introducing new characters all the time, start bringing some movies where these characters start coming together before you bring someone else new in. Or maybe someone new in like a post-credit scene, maybe, once you've connected some characters together.
Yeah, I guess you got Falcon / he's like the new Captain America, I guess you can call him.
Yeah.
Still got him.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to bring him and Winter Soldier back in. Add Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange. Maybe you have something there. I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think if Marvel start bringing these heroes together and start making, maybe like people like me and yourself care for these characters more, they might be able to get audiences to care more about their product. But I think at the moment, I can only comment for myself, but I think at the moment they're just on a downhill.
Yeah, I mean, would you say they haven't really made a character quite at the level of a Iron Man or Captain America?
No.
Or Black Panther maybe was the closest one, but then he died, and so that kind of killed that franchise to me. But I bet if Chadwick Boseman was still alive, they would have rode Black Panther as kind of the face of maybe Marvel or. Spider-Man, but I don't know what they're doing with Spider-Man anymore. I don't know what's going on with that.
I think they probably could make a character of that caliber again. I think all they need to do is establish someone who's a leader of all these superheroes, or who's going to be the new leader, whether that's Falcon / new Captain America.
That could be. Yeah.
Whether it's Shuri as Black Panther, whoever they want to pick.
Yeah.
But they need to start having that character in maybe end credit scenes in each movie. Because it wouldn't take that long to get that actor or actress on set, film a quick cameo for post credit. They'd be probably filmed it in a day maximum and they're gone, And even if it's that character approaching each superhero, being like, right, I've been watching you, or I want to recruit you for the Avengers,
Yeah.
And that would start getting that character like a caliber, like the likes of like a Tony Stark or like the likes of like a Nick Fury, for example. Because you'd see Nick Fury every time be like, oh, I found another Avenger, I found someone else. Right, we need to get you guys together. We need to form a team.
Yeah.
There's no teamwork at the moment. Everyone's just like off on their own, parallel in the universe somewhere. And I feel like they need someone or a couple of people to bring all them into a big circle and be like, right, this is what's happening. And I feel like that's what's missing.
Is that what they're going to try to do with Avengers? Was it Secret War and Kang's Dynasty? I can't remember what the.
Well, if that's the plan, they're going to need every Avenger to team up to beat that villain. Like a Thanos, you needed everyone to beat Thanos.
Yeah.
It's the same level where apparently these new ones like Kang or Galactus, whoever it is even stronger than Thanos.
Right, yeah.
So they're going to need every Avenger to beat that villain. But as I said, if they're not connecting these Avengers until that movie, no one's going to really care.
Yeah, is Chris Hemsworth, is he done with the Thor movies now, or?
No. So they've announced 4 or 5.
Oh my gosh, really?
But it's not going to be Taika Waititi, though.
Okay, good.
So I'm hoping they kind of make it more serious.
Yeah.
And make him less of a doofus,
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think when Thor has smart comedy, it works.
Yes.
And like Ragnarok, perfect example.
Yes.
But the 4th one just made him into a comedian at a stand-up show at that point.
Yeah.
And you can't take him serious as the god of thunder.
No, you can't.
I think he's like the god of jokes at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mean to ramble on about Marvel. I could talk about it all day.
I know. Yeah, me too.
But it's just a shame. Just a shame, that's all. We've got oh, sorry, before this one, I've got Marvel fans saying the poster from Licorice Pizza was from eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, man. Well, hope you enjoy the poster. Hope you've got it framed and set up somewhere, my friend. Rob says, my favourite Kurosawa is Throne of Blood.
Okay.
Samurai version of Shakespeare's Macbeth. Oh, okay.
Cool.
Have you heard of that one, Jason?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I, but that sounds pretty cool. I mean, Macbeth's an interesting story, so...
That is, I like Macbeth, yeah.
Yeah. So Throne of Blood sounds pretty cool. Marvel fan says, I bought the Magnificent 7 remake on DVD the same day as it was released, but the digital UV codes that came with the UK physical copy was dodgy. It didn't recognise the code at all. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah. Did you get those digital code? Do you get digital codes in America, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never used them or did anything with them.
Nah, same. Same. Just because I don't really have a need to have it, you know. But yeah, well, I'm glad you picked up the movie anyway, Marvel fans. Sorry your digital code didn't work though. But yeah, I remember enjoying the movie. He says, even though you put the code in correctly, the message pops up and I'll be able to recognize the title. But I did contact Sony's support team. They offered me a free replacement. Oh, that's cool.
Okay, good.
At least Sony tried to fix it for you. At least anyway, that's pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed it, my friend. I've got Mike T. Shizzle saying, evening, bit under the weather. Hope you're good. Hey, Mike. Hope you're doing well.
Get well.
Yeah, got to meet Mike at a HorrorCon this last
weekend.
That's
right. Yeah.
So it was awesome to meet Mike in person. Such a lovely guy as well. So
cool.
Hope you're doing well, Mike. Got the viewer Drew. He asks, how excited are you guys for Napoleon?
Oh man, yeah, I want to see Napoleon.
Do you think it's going to be a cinema experience, Jason?
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, Jason doesn't go to the cinema very often, so for him to go to the cinema, it's an event.
It's an event, yeah.
It definitely looks interesting, I'll say that.
Yeah.
To the original story.
Yeah, you put Joaquin Phoenix in it, it's got my interest.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, great actor, right? I mean, great casting for that role.
Yeah, I can't go wrong with that.
Is it nearly 3 hours, I think it is, the movie?
Probably, yeah, I'm sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Drew, we're both going to check out Napoleon. I'm definitely intrigued.
Yeah. When's that coming out? A couple weeks or? It's Thanksgiving movie, I think. So
I'm not sure about America, but in England we get it next Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it's something like that here. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think it's coming out just this next week. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to say the least, though. And Jason's going to the cinema, so hey, I'm excited for that in alone. Marvel fan says, I can't wait for Marvel Zombies animated series.
Yeah.
Cool. That'll probably be pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a cool episode of What If, the zombie episode. I don't know if you got to that one, but
I did. Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Something different as well.
Yeah.
So I think of an anime series, that could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I guess it's a comic. I don't know if it's a comic book series, but I think it happens in the comics or something. I don't know.
I think there's a comic book line for it.
Yeah.
Like a spin-off kind of story, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Jamie Powell saying Rope was also awesome.
Yeah, that's another early James. I think it's a Alfred Hitchcock movie with Jimmy Stewart. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I've maybe heard about you or someone else talk about Rope before, but I've not seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've seen any Jimmy Stewart movies, so not at the moment. Not at the moment, anyway. We've got Rob Exploitation Review saying his top 4 is RoboCop.
Yeah, good one.
Movie. Casablanca, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it must be Casablanca.
I'm guessing so. Jaws and Return of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Awesome, man. Well, cool.
Good violent movies in there than a classic 40s movie. That's
right.
Cool.
Right. Definitely a wide variety as well. So it's always cool hearing variety of different people's top 4 movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
RoboCop, definitely love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
Fantastic. Got Jake's Talks movie saying, I'm not bad, guys. Sorry, I'm not too bad. Wrestling gets so much hate, but for someone who's been watching it since they were a little kid, I still love it. Yeah, same for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're still tuning like weekly or watching highlights and stuff,
Yeah.
So
Mostly highlights.
I mean, heck, if you guys haven't seen it, Jason created a Z Talks custom WWE game. Check that out.
Yeah. If you want to see Mike in I know what you call
in a WWE ring, check out Jason's video. It was an awesome video, guys. Honestly, highly recommend it. You'll see a couple of other familiar faces from Z Talks on there as well.
Yeah. What'd you think when you saw did you watch it and you see you coming out?
Yeah.
Did you think, oh my gosh?
Man, I watched the whole thing. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. I thought it was great. I was like, this is so unusual, but I was like, it's so cool. Yeah, I thought it was quite cool. I wouldn't know how to really create myself in the game,
Yeah.
It's hard.
I just tried to give you a dark beard and I tried to give you dark hair that kind of stood up. That was my whole idea behind the character.
It sums up me to a T there, Jason. So yeah, you did pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check that out. But yeah, Jake, I agree with you. I think wrestling does get a lot of hate, but it's also getting a lot of new audiences recently as well. So it's good. Alvan saying, I've heard What If might end at season 3.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay. That'd be fine.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how well, and how season 2 is received as well.
Yeah.
Patrick saying Miss Marvel has been around for years. Oh, okay. He adds, she's no newcomer. She had her own book as well.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I can imagine. I mean, they're all comic book characters, so inspired by them. So I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
He says Captain Marvel's MCU origin is pretty awful, but so is Guardians of the Galaxies. The MCU really hurt the characters by ignoring the comic.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's an interesting one, because I think if you're a really die-hard comic book fan and you go into the movies and you compare the two, you probably are going to be disappointed with the differences.
Yeah.
But I've never. Jason, have you read the comics?
No.
Yeah. Well, same here. So for us,
I've read Batman and Spider-Man and X-Men comics when I was a kid. I guess that's as far as my comic books go.
You've read more than me. In terms of comics, you have. Yeah, so I think for me and Jason, Guardians of the Galaxy, if our interpretation is just the on-screen version, we can only judge it from that. We both like Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
But I can understand from yourself, though, Patrick. If you read of the comics, you might think it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, I'm sure the comic books have great storylines, and I like it if the movie. I mean, if it's one of those things like, if you're making a movie and you got a good storyline already, man, use that storyline. Why you try to make a new one? Right. And I feel like sometimes they don't do a good job of trying to come up with, storylines it's like, we got good storylines. They're in the comics. Yeah, I don't know.
Right. So I agree with you, because you sometimes think there's a simple story there, not to tell that story. I don't know if maybe it might be a licensing thing, maybe a copyright. They can't use the exact same story, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe the directors might think, well, if we do that story, it's just ripping off the comic book.
Right. And I'm sure they want to put something else into it, and
I don't know,
make it their own. But
like, to give you an example, Jason, this is not Marvel, but my favorite anime series is Death Note. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
And it's a simple story of, a guy called Light gets this Death Note where he writes someone's name in, he can kill that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side of it is a detective called L, who is investigating these deaths, and he thinks it's not just a coincidence these people are dying. He thinks that someone's doing the deaths.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically a story of wits, who's going to outwit the other, the killer or the police, basically. And if you ever see the anime, which I've recommended to you before, it's awesome. But it's a simple story, but it's so like effective with how simple story is told. And every time they do a live action adaptation, they change something in the story, and I just don't get why. Because it's simple to tell.
Yeah.
You don't need any like special CG. I mean, apart from like the creatures, there's like a couple of creatures you might need some CG for, or maybe like I know the Netflix one in 2017, they did like motion capture with Willem Dafoe, which worked pretty well. But besides that, you don't need any special CG or anything, you know, to the point you have to change story completely if you don't have it. So it's the same thing with you saying about this. If it's in the comic and it's a simple story where you don't need a lot of CG, I don't know why they don't do it.
Yeah.
Patrick saying Zhao was a horrible choice for directing. Yeah. She had never read the comics.
That was a weird directing choice because she did Nomad. Can you think of a different movie, Nomad, to a comic book? I don't know. Like, she's kind of an indie movie director, I feel like, who does very boring, slow-moving movies, and you're going to put her in charge of a comic book superhero movie? It's like, I didn't get that at all.
Yeah, so I kind of agree. But then I think also at the same time, sometimes it's down to the writing. Like, at the end of the day, whoever wrote the Eternals, that Zhao, or whether it was Christopher Nolan, whether it was Scorsese, whoever it was, they've got to direct what's on the script.
Mm-hmm.
So if the script is right, make the Eternal movies where it introduces, all these characters.
Yeah.
And have it at the end where it ends like this to connect into a future project. There's only so much a director can kind of do.
That's true. And Marvel producers are just, making a lot of interference, I should say. There's so much interference in those movies, and directors have to do what the Marvel, company says to do, or they just fire you for the most part.
Right.
So you kind of have to just, yeah, that's true. So it's like, it's not really good vision for the director, because it feels like they probably have their hands are probably tied behind their back in some sense. But.
And I think that's probably been like a problem with a lot of directors with Marvel movies,
Yeah, Star Wars, same problem.
Like Spider-Man No Way Home, was great. And I feel like it was great because that director was told, right, kind of tell a final Spider-Man story in a way, because we don't know what's going to happen to him in the future. Or like James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy 3, even if you like that movie or not, he didn't have to connect it into another movie.
Right.
In a movie time, you could just kind of give Guardians like a swan song in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Without spoiling the end of Guardians or anything like that. Whereas these other movies, it just feels like they have to connect them in, so the directors are probably limited.
Yeah.
Like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, it felt like Sam Raimi's a great horror director.
Yeah.
And it felt like he was limited to his style, what he could do to really make like a unique horror kind of MCU movie.
It had a horror element to it for sure.
It did. But he's a great director. He's made some great movies.
Uh-huh.
And I think if he was given free reign and said, right, we need something like this to happen, but go wild, I think he would have. So it's tough. It's tough. I mean, Patrick's talking about MCU. He says Secret Invasion was poorly executed, massive storyline, but reduced to 6 episodes. Another misfire.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah, I've not seen it, but not heard amazing things.
Probably the worst one I've seen. Yeah.
Jeez, even more than She-Hulk.
Yeah, because She-Hulk, She-Hulk, I can kind of laugh at, but Secret Invasion was just boring.
Yeah, and I've heard it doesn't connect that well, really, either with Captain Marvel. The Marvels even as well.
Yeah, I don't think it did.
MCU is scattered. Yeah, agree. Shang-Chi would be great in a street level series like The Defenders. Yeah, I could see something like that.
I like Shang-Chi more when he's doing hand-to-hand fighting, like on the bus. It's probably the best scene in that movie.
That was awesome.
Once he goes to more supernatural, it wasn't as interesting. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think more like the fighting style you said, I agree. Because that bus sequence was cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So it'll be interesting to see what direction to take him in the future, or like the sequel and stuff as well. It'll be interesting. The Marvels did pull in together 3 strong women characters. I think that is rather cool. Yeah, at least they've connected some characters together in this whole mess.
Yeah.
It's just a shame Captain Marvel's boring.
Yeah. I mean, Miss Marvel had her own TV show, but I don't know if anybody watched it or not. From what I heard, she's the best character in the movie, is what everybody's saying. Because she's kind of fun. She's kind of a fun character.
That's what I heard as well.
Then
So,
Monica Rambeau was in the Wanda show.
Yeah.
So we haven't got a lot of her.
Yeah. The thing is, though, with the movie being the Marvels, it should be the case where, you know, all 3 women stand out, you know, and everyone's saying, wow, all 3 of them gave performances. Can't say anyone's better than the other because they were all terrific. But you're right, everyone's saying Miss Marvel's the best one. And she's like the youngest one out of the 3 of them.
Yeah.
And you'd think like Monica would be the standout, or maybe Miss Marvel's finally chance to shine in a way. And she's getting outshined by a kid.
Right.
So it's just interesting, the writing, really. Black Panther highlights another major error by MCU, and that is killing every major villain. If they hadn't killed Killmonger, could have kept Michael. Yeah.
I wish they would have kept him around. I would even say I like what's his name? Gosh. The other villain of that movie was also very good.
What, in the new one?
In the Black Panther movie. He had a hand that was like a gun or something. And
I know who you're talking about. I forgot the character's name though.
That was a great character, and they killed him off too. Anyways, I was like, yeah, that would be great if those 2 are still around.
They've killed off a lot of good villains, or decent ones, you know. Like I really like Hela from Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And not to say that she's dead, because you don't really see that, you know.
Yeah.
It's implied, of course,
I guess, yeah.
But she was I thought she was really good. Probably one of the strongest female villains.
Probably the most powerful one we've had, yeah, for sure.
Right. Plus, it was quite cool how they tied it in with the 4 story and stuff, and the backstory as well.
Yeah. Valkyrie's a good character. I like her.
Oh, Valkyrie's awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
They've just, in a way, they've kind of got too many heroes, in a way.
Yeah.
And not enough villains to take on these heroes.
That's true. It's hard to get the good villains to match up, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
you usually need more than one movie, though, for a really good villain. Like, Killmonger was great, but obviously he's dead, so he's like, all right, well, that's him gone.
Yeah.
Marvel fans saying, I heard the director to both Ragnarok and Love and Thunder won't direct 4 or 5 yet. Taika Waititi.
Mike said, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I love Taika Waititi, but yeah, I don't want him to direct again.
No, I think they just need to get someone new, fresh idea if they're going to do a 5th, especially when it's the 5th movie as well.
Yeah.
And he's the character who's had the most single Marvel movies, 4.
Yeah, that's right.
They need something fresh, bring something brand new to the table, reinvent the character, so to say, and not so much of a joke, you know?
Yeah, so I thought even Kenneth Branagh did a good job in the first Thor movie. Whoever directed the second one didn't do a good job, but the first one and the third one were good. Did a good job.
Again, there was that kind of behind the scenes stuff with the second one, though. Like Natalie Portman didn't really want to be there and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a different topic. Got Menagio saying, Mike, hey man, what's up? Hey man, hope you're doing well. apologies late to the party.
Yeah.
Didn't expect a random live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand, man. It's all good. And what did you miss? You missed an hour and 54 minutes at this moment of chatter, so go back and rewatch, my friend.
Lots of Marvel chatter, I'll say that.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments at the moment with Marvel, which we'll carry on, but we've got Jimmy from Scottish Sheet Guy. Hey, man, hope you're doing well. He just adds in his top 4. Jurassic Park, great movie. Endgame, great. Die Hard, Dark Knight, great. And Braveheart, great movie.
Great movies, yeah, I like that.
Fantastic picks, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Well, great to hear your thoughts, mate. I've got Cy Robson. Hey, Cy. He says, the problem with the MCU is the writing. Before Disney took over, it's just the movies, and the story we were telling was pretty tight. But since the TV show, it's been weak writing and thin storylines.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely agree. Well, I think I heard at one point, and Jason talked about this a little bit earlier, about the whole Blade situation, where apparently Kevin Feige knew nothing about the Blade until it was like ready to go to start shooting. And he's like, yeah, no, that's not happening. So that's how detached it is. Whereas I feel like what you mentioned, Sai, because it was tight, because he had hands on with every single movie. So connected together, it was still entertaining. Like, I would go back and rewatch the first lot of MC stuff any day of the week, you know? Whereas like the newer stuff, I've got no urgency to rewatch that.
No, yeah, me either.
Unfortunately. Yeah. So yeah, I agree, and I think everyone in the comments is kind of agreeing with this as well. Like Patrick, I know he's been saying, Patrick's saying the writers need to tap into the source material a lot more. Yeah, I think they're doing just get known directors, pay them the money to direct the movie. Get these writers in that are great writers. We've also got Menage saying, I don't know how I feel or what to think about Madam Web. Seems like a YouTube fan-made Finals Destination film that's coming from a Marvel fan that I am. Did you see this trailer, Jason?
No, I saw the trailer that came out. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, I want to watch the trailer because I'm interested in seeing what it's about.
Yeah. Well, from what it looked like from the trailer, is so Dakota Johnson's the main. I don't know if she's Madam Web. That's her name. I'm not sure that. Okay. I don't know. I just saw the trailer.
Yeah.
And at one point she gets stabbed, like in the trailer, but then it like rewinds back before she went into the place where she got stabbed. So kind of like a Final Destination, like like a time travel kind of base thing.
Okay.
And then I don't know if it's someone from her past who is like the killer or like the the super villain. So I should have said sorry.
Right. Yeah.
I agree. I don't think it looks fantastic. I'll be honest, Jason. The trailer, it was like 2 or 3 minutes long, and it felt like it showed the entire movie.
Of course, yeah.
By beat, and it's the first trailer as well.
Yeah.
So, I'll be intrigued to hear your thoughts though when you do check that out.
Yeah. I want to watch that.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick saying, and Madam Web and Craven are going to crash and burn.
Yeah, Craven's also kind of in trouble, isn't it?
I think it got delayed because of the strikes and stuff to next year. Aaron Taylor Johnson and that. Yeah.
It's a good villain. I don't know why I'm not really into making these movies about villains, I guess. Like Venom, Morbius. I don't know. I'm not into them. I don't know how you feel.
Yes and no. I think if you can do a compelling story like Joker,
yeah.
Right, which I feel like was a passion project by Todd. I think it was Todd Phillips.
I think so.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the comments if it wasn't Todd Phillips who did Joker. I'd like to say it was that name.
Yeah.
Like that felt like a passion project, although it may have ripped off other movies from what I've heard.
Right. Yeah.
I still really enjoyed it. I still thought it was like a really strong origin story. And I personally can't wait for the sequel to see what they're going to do. Yeah. Whereas to answer your question, Jason, I feel like if they made Venom a really interesting character, gave him a great origin and a really great sequel, and gave Morbius like a really good, interesting origin story, I would really care, and I'd be like, wow, I can't wait for Craven to come out or Madam Web to come out. But because I feel like Venom is maybe mediocre at best, and Morbius was terrible.
Yeah.
I've got no intrigue for these two projects here, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah.
And like yourself, like we should be really excited for this and be like, like day one at the cinema, we'll go check this out, But more likely, you're not going to make the trip. You'll just be like, I'll wait for streaming,
Right.
Which is unfortunate. So yeah, I think unless you can make a compelling villain story, don't do it. Yeah. So it's an interesting one though. It's a good question. Sai saying his top 4 is Big Trouble in Little China, The Sting.
Sting. Okay.
Never heard of The Sting.
One Best Picture back in 73.
Oh, okay.
Right in between Godfather 1 and Godfather 2, one in 72 and 74. And right in between is Sting with Robert Redford and Paul Newman. And
oh, wow. Okay.
It's a good movie. It's like kind of like con men. They're kind of gambling con men. It's good.
Oh, wow. I'll have to check it out because I really like Robert Redford. So, yeah. Well, awesome pick, Si. He says number 3, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, great movie.
Great movie, yeah. And Blade Runner 2049. Okay.
That's Norrin Rad's favorite movie.
It is. It's also a Patreon request I've got as well. So I'm gonna. Yeah. I wasn't huge in the first one, but I've heard the second one's better.
Yeah. I haven't seen the second one, but I don't know. It looks kind of long and boring.
Yeah, I think it's just under 3, maybe 2 hours 49. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. But yeah, it's quite. But it's a great pick, Si. Really cool to hear your picks as well, man. And I really like hearing everyone's different top 4s. It's interesting, everyone's different taste. Patrick saying the public doesn't know who the hell these characters are. Morbius is a great character, but he needed superhero support in his origin story and not cast Jared Leto. And his Joker was terrible.
Yeah, I agree. Jared Leto, I don't know. He's a good actor. He won his Oscar deservingly for Dallas Buyers Club, I think it was. But then everything afterwards has been terrible for Jared Leto.
He's a good. I think he's a good actor. Like
Requiem
for a Dream, like I think he has a good actor. I think it's just the parts he's given, or the direction of it as well. Yeah, like as Joker, I wasn't huge on.
I didn't like his Joker.
No, I mean, I would have been interested to see like the David Ayer cut they were talking about at some point, and like his version before they edited all down and stuff like that. But yeah, but not every good actor can do superheroes. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've talked about Natalie Portman. She just does not work in the Thor movies for me, and I think you agree with that. And
yeah,
she's an Oscar-winning actress. I don't know why it doesn't work.
I just feel like with her in the Thor movies, she's got no chemistry with.
Yeah.
Again, she's got no. I don't think they've got good chemistry.
No.
And also, they've never made a character interesting. Personally, apart from in Thor, Love and Thunder, was probably the most character development she's ever gotten.
Yeah.
But it was a terrible movie, so it doesn't help.
It's a bad movie, so.
I feel that's the problem. They've never made Jane Foster like interesting.
No.
So I think that's why she doesn't work in the movies. Not because it's her fault, because of the material she's given, and she just has to play that part. I think that's the issue. Marvel fan says I pretend Thor got kicked off the Guardian ship after Endgame. Don't blame you. I think we all do at this point.
Yeah.
He says I think they get self-aware. Look at George Clooney. He played Bruce Wayne great, but he hated Batman, and it showed.
Yes.
I still haven't seen it. I'm dying to, though. Trust me, I'm dying to see Batman and Robin.
But if you see interviews with George Clooney, he just hated doing Batman.
But then he returned in The Flash.
What was that all about? That was a shocker. Yeah, I was like,
yeah. Sorry, spoiler for The Flash if you've
that's
never
a spoiler.
seen it, guys. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you whereabouts he comes into the movie, but yeah, he returns for The Flash.
He is a good Bruce Wayne, though. I mean, he's got the dapper, good looks, for Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
Ben Affleck was great as Daredevil, but as Batman was really bad.
Really?
Wow, that's a bit of a hot take. I thought it was vice versa.
Me too.
I mean, I don't think he was terrible as Daredevil, but obviously you go back and watch that movie, it's not great.
It's a goofy movie in some spaces. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought his Batman was really good because it was different. And he's like an older, mature Bruce Wayne than what we've seen before.
Yeah.
He wasn't really like the Playboy style Bruce Wayne. He was more, he just wants to beat people up, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Kind of style. So it's interesting. So I'm going to wrap it up there because kind of just want to do a shorter stream tonight. But firstly, thank you to you guys in the comments for watching. I really appreciate it. Great conversation. Thank you to my awesome guest, Jason, the champ of Z Talks and Hangout and Chat probably as well. Guys, I just want to plug one more time again. If you've not checked out Jason's channel, Jason the Old Millennial, please go and subscribe to this guy. Such a fantastic person. Got a lot of videos in there. Go check him out. Close to 250 subs as well. So let's get him to that milestone. The link will be down below in the description box. But for now, just type in Jason the Old Millennial on YouTube and you will find his channel.
See my poster.
And his poster up there.
That's what it looks like.
So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And until next time, we will, both of us, see you later. See everyone.